Pastor Chira Show. I'm Pastor Chira, and today we launch. We launch into new territory. We launch into new mindset. We launch into new relationships. Are you ready to launch out? Come on, launch out with me as we go into this conversation. So as you know, we are in the month of October. And there are so many things that we celebrate and we recognize and we observe in the month of October. And one of the things that this month is known for is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you've seen, we've had the walks and we've had the conferences and we've had the talks and we've had the fundraisers. But really, this month is known for Breast Cancer Awareness Month because it's about women's health, it's about a woman's body, and it's about us getting checked out. And I have two women that are joining me today who know about a woman's body, a woman's health, and getting that good checkup. And they are none other than Overseer Kimberly Wallace and Deaconess Novella Lyons. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation on today. And I don't want to get into your story. I don't want to, start talking about any of that. But I want you all to introduce yourself. So, Overseer Wallace, can you just tell the people who you are and just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, hello and greetings, everybody. My name is Overseer Kimberly Wallace. I am, first of all, campus pastor of Full Effect Gospel Ministries, the Pennsylvania location. We are located in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I am also a retired educator. I spent well over 26 years with the New York City Department of Education. I'm also an author. I write children's books, and I also have two other books, 21 Days of Prayer Devotion for Educators. And my most recent book is Divorce Cannot Stop Your Destiny. I am also the founder and the CEO of KMW Innovations, which is a company I started, Unlimited Creativity. We want to help others unleash their creative ideas and their creative journey. I am also the mother of one talented and gifted son. His nickname is Rocky. And he is a wonderful teenager, I might add.
Yes.
But we're going on this journey together, and he's very supportive. And I thank God for just allowing me to be here. I am also a cancer survivor,
Yes.
and God has miraculously blessed my body and blessed me. And I am grateful to God for all that He has done for me throughout my entire life.
Wow.
Amen.
That is Overseer. Like, you are just, you doing it. Miss Novella, can you introduce yourself to everyone, to the viewing audience?
I certainly will. Thank you for having me on the radio program. And 27 and a half years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
After my surgery and treatment and God's healing me, I founded Women of Faith and Hope. Women of Faith and Hope is a nonprofit organization that is geared toward supporting women, educating women, empowering them in reference to breast health issues. Our mission statement is to encourage, enlighten, and empower women about issues related to breast cancer in an effort to reduce the mortality rate, to provide early detection, and offer spiritual and emotional support to women and their significant others. And that is what I've been doing since 1995.
Wow. Since 1995. So, I mean, the two of you have been on a mission. You have been really empowering others through many venues and many areas. Like Overseer Wallace, you just, I mean, you hitting it at every level, and I mean, you just hitting them from all corners. And
Mhm.
Deaconess, you doing the same thing. Like you hitting them from every area consistently, right? So this has been a
Yes,
journey
yes,
that you both have been on. Um, Deaconess, you said for 27 years. Um, Overseer,
yes.
when were you diagnosed? How many years ago?
I was diagnosed in early 2019.
Okay.
So it's just been
Recent.
2021. Yeah, it's been about two years or so for me. Yeah.
Wow.
hmm
Wow,
Yeah.
that is recent. So, so we're talking about my body, my health, check. So,
Uh,
what was your discovery process in knowing that something was going on in your body to make you go get that check?
well, first of all, I make a plan and I make it my business to get my yearly checkups. I do not go without my yearly checkups. I
Mm-hmm.
make sure I see my primary doctor. I make sure I see my GYN. I
Mm-hmm.
make sure I go for my mammograms every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So, early detection is the best detection,
Right.
and it is the best way for your body to be cured if you have early detection. So if you do not go for your medical exams, your yearly medical exams and checkups, you
Mm-hmm.
may miss something down the line. And
Yes.
I make it a point, make it my business to schedule my yearly checkups. So when there is something abnormal, it is detected early because they will look at your films or
Right.
your they will look at your records from the previous year and compare them and say, okay, there's something abnormal going
Right.
on. And that's what happened with me. They saw something, it was abnormal. So they said, get a biopsy. I had the biopsy. They said, okay, we need you to go get another biopsy to cover more of the area of the breast where they saw the cancer. It was more like some call it precancerous or
Okay.
stage zero, but it was the early detection that I believe, saved
What's the
me,
key?
so to speak,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I know God has everything under control,
Right.
right? But it was that early detection that it was so key and crucial. And that is why I tell whether my breasts were on the heavy side.
Right.
Since then, I've had a breast reduction, but because they were on the heavy side, it is very difficult to do self exams.
Yeah,
However,
that's true.
I do recommend self exams, but I also recommend you go to your GYN, you get your exams, you get your mammograms, you do what is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go without. It is the
That's
same with
true.
checking your blood pressure,
That's
checking to
true.
see if you have diabetes, checking
Check.
your heart.
Check.
Just go get yourself checked
Check.
out. I
That's
know a
true.
lot of
Yeah.
people, they just
But
refuse to do that. Some people are fearful. Some
right.
people are they maybe they've had a bad experience, but whatever it is, make sure get a doctor. Find a
That's
doctor
true.
that you like. Find a doctor
Yeah.
that you can communicate well with. Find
Right.
a doctor that is
But
really concerned about you
that can be
and you
hard
do
though.
what's necessary.
That but that can be hard. That can be hard to find
It
that.
is,
So,
yeah.
Miss Novella, in Women of Faith and Hope, how you're hearing overseers saying go get checked, but there are a lot of people out there that don't go get checked and don't they don't do that. So in your 27 years of support, how do you get women to go get those checkups? What is your counseling? What is your conversations with them in order to help them to go and seek out those doctors?
We go into the community. We go to beauty parlors, laundromats. We go to the women because a lot of women would not come to us. We have programs, but a lot of women would not come to our programs. So we go in the community to the women. We
Mm.
go into the community. Our focus is the uninsured and the underinsured woman because lots of times these women are dying at a greater rate. They're being diagnosed at a later stage of whatever the disease is. In my case, it was breast cancer for some women. And the other thing was that they had a more aggressive cancer. So
Mm.
that's our focus is cancer, but we talk about other parts of the body because we don't just have breast. So
Mm-hmm.
and we have our meetings. As I said, we go into the community and we also have community outreach programs.
Right.
We have a retreat every year. We have a conference once a year. We're having our 25th conference tomorrow for celebration of life, Sisters Surviving Breast Cancer. We have support group meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in 1995, there was no support for breast cancer in the city of Philadelphia. We were the first group.
Yep.
Women weren't talking about breast cancer.
Right.
It was something that you just didn't talk, or cancer, the big
Yes,
C, they
cancer.
said.
Mm-hmm.
So we offered the programs to women. They came on a Saturday morning and we educated them
Right.
because education and power helps you. As Overseer said, early detection saves lives. My cancer was caught at an early stage, and we know that. Have a mammogram once a year. If a woman doesn't have insurance, we can refer her for a free mammogram. If a woman needs a diagnostic testing, we can refer her for that. If a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer and doesn't have insurance, we can refer her to an organization that will help her with breast health through that time. So there
Yes.
are many ways that we can help a woman, not just for the breast health, but for overall health. And we're there to help before a breast cancer diagnosis or with a breast cancer diagnosis.
Yep.
And we don't just help the woman, we help her family. We
Right.
provide services to her family as well.
Yep. And I remember working with you very closely years ago when I was doing outreach for those within the community, and we partnered
Yes,
up and did a
yes,
lot of work with the cancer risk evaluation program and making sure
yes,
that we did risk assessments for
yes,
genetic risk assessments and
yes,
making sure that we had those connections. So you have been a pioneer for making sure that women and families get this
yes,
information and they're getting their checks. We are
yes,
going to go into a commercial, but on the other side, I want to talk about a little bit more about the things that you both do within the communities, within your ministries, just what you do and how um, your presence has really made an impact to others through your work, through your writings, through what you do. So we're going to go on a commercial break and we'll be right
yes.
back.
Okay.
You can join us virtually or at the church, located at 458 East Rittenhouse Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
We're back, and we are back with Overseer Kimberly Wallace and Deaconess Novella Lyons, and we are in this phenomenal conversation about women, my body, my health.
Yes.
Check. Because we need to get our checkups, right? And
Yes.
listen, I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty. My doctor's been fussing at me, and y'all can get me. Y'all can get me. Because my doctor's like, I've been there 3 times now this year. And she's like, so did you make that appointment? And I'm on my way back again. And I know I gotta make this appointment and get this done before I go. And I'm in the field. Like, this is what I do. And I'm always talking about health and wellness, and I'm bad. So what would you all tell somebody like me who's in the field and knows, I'm supposed to go to the doctors and I'm supposed to get these checks and I'm supposed to know what and I'm supposed to do these. And yes, I know. And life and time. What would you tell me, Miss Novella? Like, how would you get me to just stop and go? Tell me something.
I would take you by the hand and tell you to make an appointment. I would go with you. And don't take care of everybody else and not take care of yourself. What happens if you get sick? Who's going to take care of you? So you have to take care of yourself. And as I said, I will go with you, make an appointment, and we will go together. Because it's important not to miss your appointments. And we keep talking about early detection. You
Yeah.
don't want to be diagnosed with something that you could have caught early because you didn't go, you didn't take care of yourself. Remember that you are important, you are special. You need to keep your appointments. And so one of the things we talked about at our conference, uh, our 25-year conference, is tell women about that. Some of the speakers we had at our conference last week was uh, screening for you and your family. Okay, that's
Mhm.
something you probably need, a screening, how important that is, and what to look for as a result of your answer to your screening. Survivorship, more than just a buzzwords. We always have spirituality at our conference. We never have a conference without talking about spirituality.
Right.
Clinical trials, that's important because lots of times African American women or men do not participate in clinical trials.
That's
And
true.
it's important that we're counted in those
Mhm.
trials. How do they know about how things are impacting us if we're not participating? And we're
That's
talking
right.
about metastatic breast cancer also and genetics because we have a lot of women walking around every day that you don't know that are living with metastatic breast cancer. They're looking great, they look strong, but they have metastatic breast cancer. And they're walking around living a normal life. There have been many strides made in treating cancer since 27 years ago. Many
Right.
strides. And so we talk about things like that. We also have a taking care of yourself portion in the afternoon where we have a woman that has an exercise company and she's going to talk about eating right and exercising because that's important also in our self-care. And we also have a lady that will provide wigs to women that cannot buy wigs for themselves if they're going through chemo or some other kind of hair loss. She'll be talking in
Mhm.
the afternoon. So that's our
Wow.
program for this year. And we always have a award. Alice Dash is my
Yes.
mother. My mother died in 1975 as a result of breast cancer. And that's why I started getting a mammogram every year, so my cancer was detected early. But we give
Okay.
an award in recognition of my mother, and this year we also awarded someone for what they're doing in the community with women as far as cancer is
Oh.
concerned. So those are the things that we do with our organization.
So I need you to come take my hand and take me to the doctors.
Yes, I will. Take your hand and we'll make an appointment and we'll go together.
Because I'm not trying to get a beating. Because that's the whole nother thing. Come on, Pastor Chira, let's go. We got to go. You got to get your
Yes,
stuff done,
yes.
right? It's so important because it is, and the things that you're talking about, like the cancer genetics and cancer research and us being counted. Um, Overseer, how do you ensure that those women that you encounter know that they're important and they need
Well,
to be counted?
well, one of the things that I do when I encounter women, I often think of the scripture where Jesus said that there are two of the commandments that are the greatest, and one of them
Mm,
is love the Lord thy God with thy heart, mind, and soul. The other one is to love your neighbor as yourself. And who
mm,
exactly is your neighbor? It is the person that you have the privilege of meeting, the person that you have connections with, the person that you have an encounter. And sometimes those encounters are godly encounters. So when I meet people, when I meet women, I encourage them. I encourage them to take care of themselves. I encourage them, as I said before, to make your appointments. I encourage them and I let them know, listen, this is what's going on. This is what we need to do as women. We need to
Right.
take care of ourselves. We need to make our appointments. We need to go get our checkups. I also I have a cousin who works for the American Cancer Society. So sometimes I refer her, or I refer them to her, or I refer her to talk to them, and she will talk to them and give them statistics about a cancer, give them statistics about this killer that is happening among women. And so I will use that resource. And also in our ministry, we have our women's conference every year. We have our women's
Mm-hmm.
conference every year. So during that conference, that is also a time to talk to women, hand out literature,
Mm-hmm.
and just encourage them just to move forward and get healthy. There's
Yeah.
no such thing. Not only just getting your checkups, but exercising. We have
Yeah.
a group called Healing Truth Women's Ministry, and so I oversee the Golden Girls. Those are girls, ladies, or 60 plus. And so that is a time that we also use to bring in medical doctors and nurses to talk to the women and encourage them about health in general, not just cancer, but just taking care of themselves, avoiding certain things, avoiding certain foods that we should not eat, making sure that we exercise. And often, another thing that we do with the Golden Girls, also with these women, we provide exercises. Our elder Denise Green, she does exercise classes with
Yeah.
these women. So we want to make sure that we are walking in health, like the scripture says. I wish above
Yeah.
all that you may prosper and be in health,
Good.
even as your
Yes.
soul prospers. So we are concerned with the spiritual, but we are also concerned with the natural and the physical. So anything I can do, giving a testimony.
Yes.
I have Thursday morning live on Facebook Live, and we give testimonies of what God has done. And we give testimonies of miracles and healings and things of that nature to encourage people, to let people know
Yes.
that even if you are diagnosed, even if you've missed some doctor's appointments, that we believe God, that God is a healer.
That's right, because he is.
Yeah.
Above all
Yes, he
things,
is.
he is. He is a healer. So, in all these educational pieces, it sounds like both of you have those that you can go to and contact and get information from. But it also sounds like we can come together and do some work.
Yes.
Am I putting y'all together? And y'all might not want to. I just did that, didn't I? I know. But
Well,
Yes.
I mean,
I
it's
tell you what, if it's about saving lives, if it's about helping, if it's about
Yes.
mm,
encouraging, I'm willing to work with President Novella. I'm willing to work
Yes.
with you. I'm willing to work with anybody that we all have this common goal that we can
Yes.
reach people, help people, each one reach one.
that's what it's
And if
Yes.
about.
we and if two of us are gathered together, we can
Come
make
on.
sure that
Yes.
we can be effective, and we
That's
can
right.
Yes.
use our influence so that
Yes.
lives can be saved and
That's right.
Yes.
lives can be
Yes.
touched, and people can be healed, because it's about
Yes.
saving lives.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
tell women all the time, go, you listen, get your checkups, do what you need to
Yes.
do.
That's
And I
right.
don't just tell women, but I tell men all the
Men
time,
also.
listen,
Yes.
That's right.
something,
Yes.
your body
That's
is
right.
talking to you, your body is
Yes.
telling you
Listen.
something.
That's
You
right.
need to listen to
Listen.
your body,
That's
Yes.
right.
and you need to
Yes.
go get you a doctor.
That's
Ask
right.
a
That's right.
neighbor, ask a friend.
That's right.
Listen,
Right.
Yes.
can you recommend your doctor? Do
Right.
you
Yes.
have a
Right.
good doctor? Is your doctor really good? Is your doctor good? Listen, I need a
Yes.
doctor. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that we have to do. So I would love to connect with President Novella.
Listen,
And
you
I would love to
talking
work with
here
you also. We
because
have to stay
listen, what
connected. We are going to get connected.
yes, because when we
Thank
talk
you,
about
Pastor
saving
Chira, for
lives,
connecting us.
listen,
Right,
when we talk about saving lives, we always talk about on the spiritual side, but it
right.
transcends across.
Of
We're
course it
Yes.
about
does.
saving lives,
Yes. That's
Of
right.
life
course it does.
saving,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Through the Savior. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
No, Miss Novella, how can people get in touch with you and Women of Faith and Hope?
And go to our website, wofah.org. Google us, connect with us at Google. We're at 6001 Germantown Avenue in Philadelphia. Our phone number is 215-837-8920. We're working remotely since because of the coronavirus. So we're working remotely, so that's our business mobile number, 215-837-8920. And we're there to help you, as I said, with or without a diagnosis. And we're in the community to help and have programs. And when we were having our health fairs, we had doctors come in for the men to
That's
have
right.
prostate exams as well as the women mammograms because we love the
Right.
men in our lives. So
That's
we're
right.
about the men and the women.
Absolutely. Overseer, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I'm going to give you 3 ways you can get in touch with me. The first one, you can email me at pastorkimwallace@gmail.com. You
Mm-hmm.
can also pastorkimwallace@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, www.kmwinnovationsllc.com, or you can go to my church's website, effect900.com, and you can
Yes.
leave a message for me, and I will be sure to get that message. Or you could connect with me on Facebook through Messenger. That's Kimberly Wallace, Overseer Kimberly Wallace on Facebook, and Overseer Kim Wallace on Instagram.
All right. Listen, y'all heard it here first. I want to thank you, ladies, so much for being a part of the Pastor Chira Show and sharing your stories and sharing your information. It is invaluable because people need to know you are treasures. And I thank you so much for everything that you do with the people, in the communities, and most importantly, in the kingdom. Thank you so much. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on the Pastor Chira Show. I pray that this information is something that you can take that will help you and your family in whatever time you're in. Listen, go get your checkup. Go get checked. It's your body. It's your health. Make sure you get checked. I'm Pastor Chira. This is the Pastor Chira Show, and we'll see you next week. God bless.